Yeah, as expected, we see currently profit takings on Wall Street, guys. Yesterday, we had the news that Federal Reserve will extend their massive cheap money program until at least 2022. They expect the GDP to bounce back 5% next year, and currently the party can go on. Now, this was a quite bullish sign, but today morning the futures are down. And some of you guys are like, what the hell is going on? And you don't have to panic, because this is something totally normal, and we will dive into why this is. Especially if you're going into the market, you see that the S&P 500 futures are down 1.67%. The Dow futures are down 2%. The Nasdaq futures are down 1.15%. Russell even 3%. So massive profit taking right now. Crude oil as well, 4% down. So you see on the whole front there is profit taking, and I will tell you exactly why this is if you're just looking into the S&P 500. Guys, we went so strong over the last couple of weeks. Just the 2 months here, 13th of May, we were still at 2,820, and we are almost 1,000 points more from there. And also April was significantly with about 400 points gain here to 2,800. And then, so you can see just in a couple of weeks, 8 weeks, we went from 2,500 to 3,200, guys. So give it a break a little bit. But overall, I think the scenario is and stays bullish. And as I said many times, this is quite interesting that we definitely need to watch out what's happening with the health crisis. This is the only big bearish sign that I can think of that can stop it for now. And I just posted something on my community tab here, so if you are interested, go always to check out my posts as well. So this is something that I always say. Yesterday I told you to look for the Ron Barron interview, who is saying a lot about long-term thinking and long-term vision. And now we see, for example, long-term vision is massively paying out for those Tesla investors out there. And this is some very nice graphic here that shows us, long-term looks from outside like very, very easy, but what it is actually like, it's having a lot of hurdles and challenges, and bad weather, and deep dives, and so on and so forth. So it's not easy, guys, especially in an environment where everything seems to be crazy. I think that you can really think of that, how I can hold it, or should I sell it now it's so high. But in the end of the day, what really turned out for the best investors out there, always, like Ron Barron said, he missed out on Amazon and Netflix, unfortunately, because he didn't have this long-term vision yet. Otherwise he would be having even more billions of dollars. And therefore, just think about, people are asking me here a lot, should I buy and sell now, and so on. Nobody can tell you the perfect time to buy or sell now. It can be that the stock, Beyond Meat or Tesla is now going down for a couple of weeks, right? And you get a better price, but it can go also further up. Nobody knows. And then you will stand there and get FOMO. So just put every month a certain amount into Beyond Meat or Tesla, or however, which growth stock you are interested in, and I promise you the probability is very, very high that you can make a fortune over a long period of time. That I'm certain of. But however, that's obviously no financial advice or any this is obviously for just entertainment and information and educational only purpose only. But I want to go with you quickly into today's calendar because it's Thursday. What is on Thursday? As you know, if you're following, it's the jobless claim numbers. Okay, so we have here, quite interestingly, the jobless claims today, which is very important event. This is, by the way, a very interesting economic calendar. Just go on Google and search for economic calendar. Then you can go here, FX Street. Then you will have directly the calendar for today, which is always quite interesting and very important to understand what's going on and what can move the markets today. And obviously, it's the Thursdays, always the initial jobless claims, 1.877 million people was last week, and this week is expected 1.55 million jobless claims. And this is very important to watch because, you know, this is the more or less real-time data that we can get on the economy and how the US is doing, how the people are doing. Do they get more jobs? Do they, you know, lose more jobs? How is the situation? And, you know, this can actually move the whole scenario. Obviously, if today we have this profit taking, obviously bad news, you know, like maybe higher number than that is expected, can draw even more profit taking and selling. But if the jobless claim numbers will be good, like you remember last week was was it last week? Yeah, last week was the overall job market report, which was absolutely great. And then, you know, the stock market just jumped for Friday and Monday. However, you know, how long can this profit taking go further? This is also a question that you might ask, which I believe can be, you know, at least this week. You know, I think that especially Friday sometimes is a good day where the people say, no, I will take my profits before the weekend. I will enjoy my weekend, and then I will go back to the stocks on Monday. However, you know, it's hard to say, guys. It's the short-term vision is it's impossible to foresee what the stocks can do in a week, in a month, or whatsoever. Long term, this is a very bullish sign that the Federal Reserve gave us yesterday. Okay, so cheap money stays there. They definitely, and this is what Jerome Powell said in his press conference as well, that they will do whatever it takes to help and stimulate the government through this very severe economical crisis. And this means for myself that, you know, I stay bullish until further notice, guys. Okay, use those downtimes to maybe load up some stocks that you like for the long term, for the next 5 to 10 years, and then you will be very happy in 5 to 10 years if we are speaking here. And you will be, you know, just think about Tesla. You know, I said always that Tesla is a very interesting company to buy with a long-term goal, long-term vision. And look how long it took, 1 year, and the stock absolutely exploded, which was for so many people that watched here benefited from that. So, you know, you never know, guys, with the growth stocks. You know, it can be that it take 5 to 10 years. It can take 5 months. It's important when the stock is cheap, and if you get it dirt cheap, comparing to the long-term vision, that you needs to build up this phase as much as possible. And therefore, I think, you know, this shall be the beginning of today's trading day. I hope you will have a very, very successful day on the stock market, and I see you a little bit later with a Tesla $1,000 vlog and obviously my daily live stream. So subscribe. Think about liking this one as well, and I see you just in a couple of hours. And therefore, have a nice day.